to History Saver 1941 and the first ever episode of Haunted History, a new original YouTube series here on the channel. Before we get into that video, there's some business we need to attend to. A few videos back, I thanked you guys in a video for helping me reach 500 subscribers. Now, it is time for that giveaway as promised on that video. All you have to do to be entered for a chance to win is comment in the comment section below this video and this video only. Like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and the comment that you leave below can be, I love my dog, I love my cat. It doesn't matter. Just comment on the video below and you will be entered for a chance to win. We're going to run this contest for 1 month. We want a fair shot for everyone to get entered. I don't want to be one of these channels that says, hey, you got 3 days and then we're drawing. Let's not do that. This is a big prize and I want everyone to have a chance to win it. What will you receive in this package that I'm going to be sending the winner? 1 World War II history book of our choosing. So some kind of history book of some sort. You'll also receive some soil from one of the foxholes in Bastogne where the 506th Parachute Infantry Regiment was. So another cool piece of history to add to your home. And 3 Civil War bullets. We're going to throw that in there as well. And you'll also receive 3 rations, a Minotaur Trading Company ration. Go visit Black Dog Bob, MinotaurTradingCompany.com. Ordered a huge order from those guys earlier this year. I got a lot of Minotaur Trading Company rations, and I want to give you guys a chance to own one and try those out for yourself so you can pick up some more from Black Dog Bob. You will also receive a U.S. MRE, United States Military MRE, and then another MRE of our choosing, which is going to be a surprise. It could be another Minotaur. It could be something completely different. You just never know. So we're going to throw that in. We may throw in some extra MRE components as well, so you never know what we may do with that. And the big giver here is a shopping spree that will be featured in the video on this channel at a friend of mine's Russian grocery store. A friend of mine owns a Russian grocery store. He has foods from all over Eastern Europe in here. There's no place like this anywhere around me that I know of, and there's a lot of cool things in here. We're going to go in, we're going to get you some sweets, we're going to get you some different things from different countries in Eastern Europe for you to try. And we're going to be spending $25, and we will have that video on this channel of us actually shopping for you. So you'll know what you'll get in that shopping spree before you actually receive that package, which is pretty cool. So very cool stuff, guys, and thank you so much, and let's get into this first episode of Haunted History. See you soon. Hello, and welcome to this episode of Haunted History on History Saver 1941. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification so you will get notified every time I upload. It's as easy as that. And today, on this first episode of Haunted History, we are in South Alabama in Monroe County and the town of Clayburn to take you on a little tour of some of Alabama's most haunted histories. We are right here along the banks of the Alabama River in Clayburn. And as you can see behind me, there's not one other vehicle here. And besides my truck back here in the background. But we are literally on the river itself. And this is one of the most historical spots here as well. everywhere here in Clayburn is historical. I mean, it's just this all important places. But I want to give you guys a view of what I'm looking at right now, and it stinks. It smells like death out here, dead fish and deer. People have been dumping stuff here. Oh my gosh. All right, so this is the view right here that I have now. And if you look right in front of us, right there in the center of the screen, that is a hill. It is a bluff, and that is where Fort Clayburn's site actually set here. And we were going to try to go down this stream and look a little ways, but as you can see, it's got a pretty good substantial amount of water, so I don't know if we're gonna be able to or not, but we're gonna walk down here. But the reason why I'm going over here is something caught my eye, and it's just, it's kind of bizarre. I know what it looks like, and you can see it right in front of me right now. It looks like a grave, but I really don't know if this is what it is or if it's something different. It's just really bizarre to be out here in the middle of nowhere. And yeah, it's got a cement structure around it. That is exactly what this is. This is a sarcophagus from a grave. But there is no headstone, no writing anywhere. That is just wild. And there's only one here that I can see. It is pretty old. It's been here a long time. There's nothing inside. Or at least there's, I don't know. There's supposed to be. There's no top anywhere in sight to this thing. So I don't know. That's pretty wild. But this is a very historic spot. There are many things that has been seen out here. On top of these hills and ridges, there's been phantoms seen walking around. When I say phantoms, I mean apparitions, shadows, just unexplainable people and things. But this is a creek that runs through here, and there are no doubt many items in this creek, because at the time this is where you would bathe, this is where you will wash. And what I am wondering, even being here, you guys, if you're new to the channel, I do a lot of historic preservation work, especially here in this area. And this has just intrigued me, because along this branch, this would run into Old Fort Clayburn. And most of the times what would happen is, along these branches would be trash dumps. And there could be a trash dump here along the banks of this. And this looks like a good spot for us to go down into there. Let's go up a little ways. Microphone cable's getting kind of full. Let's walk down. Yeah. And not only that, Native Americans use this area along the Alabama River, and there have been many artifacts found here. Wow. And as we walk along here, wow, just check this out. This is so neat, because there's no doubt stuff inside of this branch, arrowheads, different artifacts used by the Native Americans, and I'm sure stuff pouring out of these banks. So very cool. But people hear strange noises coming from this area, not only at night, but also during the day. And they also see phantoms, they see apparitions and different things along this area. So this is a very historic spot and a very, very neat spot to check out. Okay, so what I want to do is I actually want to walk this a little ways just to see if we find anything else interesting. And don't worry guys, I know where I'm at. So I've been here many times. I've just never really thoroughly checked it out. But yeah, pretty neat place and neat spot. I don't want to go too far because it is deer season and I don't want to get shot. So I am wearing blue, so if somebody thinks a deer wears blue, something's wrong somewhere. Okay, so we're gonna make our way back out to the truck now. Like I said, I don't want to get too far in here and get shot. Some idiot mistake me for a deer, even though I'm in bright blue colors. And no one should be hunting here in the first place, but they do. Just check out the bluffs behind me. Check out those bluffs. Oh my gosh. And that's what I love about this area is the hills, the valleys, everything is just so nice here. It's very beautiful. But with that being said, guys, we're gonna head on to the next spot and we will see you in just a bit. Okay, so we're inside the McConico cemetery here in South Monroe County, Alabama, in a little town called Clayburn. Clayburn was established as one of the first towns in Monroe County. It was actually almost the Alabama state capital at one time. Clayburn at one point in its history was a booming town. It had several thousand inhabitants and was located along the Alabama River. Cotton gin warehouses, a newspaper was there. It was just littered with businesses and residential homes and businesses, and it was a flourishing town located among the Alabama River, and along the banks is where the people made their living, and they would ship out timber and different goods, and Clayburn was just booming until the yellow fever epidemic hit in the 1800s, and it wiped out the entire town. And today it is one of Alabama's most famous ghost towns. The place we're in right now is McConico Cemetery in the town of Clayburn. We are right outside the town of Clayburn, and this is one of the cemeteries for the town at the time. I actually have a grandfather who is buried here who fought during the American Civil War. And he is buried right here in this general vicinity of where I am now. And here is his grave right here behind me. So I actually have a grandfather who fought in the Civil War, was buried here. But this cemetery is very old. A lot of those people who died from the yellow fever epidemic are buried in this cemetery. This cemetery is very large. It is still used today. And it is very cool to just drive by and see. It has all of these old trees like you see behind me here, the cedar trees, still here. These cedar trees are hundreds of years old. They were here during that time when my grandfather was buried here. They were here before that. I mean, it's just amazing to look at these trees and think if they could talk. There are a lot of Civil War veterans buried here in McConico Cemetery, along with my grandfather who fought during the war between the states. Many strange occurrences have said to happen here at night. At night, it is said that you will drive by on the highway here behind me, and people will see a line of Union soldiers on horseback. They call them the McConico Ghost Riders. And for years upon years since the American Civil War, that has been the story here at McConico. There are also apparitions that are seen inside of the graveyard. One being a man who is supposedly grieving still over his wife's death. And story after story surrounds this cemetery. There have been strange orbs of light, strange disembodied voices captured. There have even been accounts of people getting touched, getting pulled. Just story after story over the last 100 years has been told of paranormal happenings in this location. To me, this place has always been near and dear to my heart because of my family history here in Clayburn and in this cemetery in particular. But it has also fascinated me at the history that is in the cemetery itself. Several public figures have been buried here over the years, including senators, congressmen, different people of notable statute has been buried in this cemetery. Today, the cemetery is still used. People are still buried here, and it is a very cool place to come and visit. So if you're ever in Monroe County in the town of Clayburn, this is a must to see. This is a place that will give you so much history, so much background on who the people were that once lived here before us. This is another cool monument I wanted to share with you guys while we're here. This is in memory of, I can't really tell off camera what it says. It's so old, it's kind of worn away. You can see it's been repaired at the top here. And then behind it, you have several other graveyards. This one from 2016, right in front of one that died in 1938. One in 1982. So like I said, this graveyard is still used today among graves that's 100 years old. Other people are buried there. Sturtevant is a name I see on the back of one of these graves here. There's actually a very notable haunted location in Selma, Alabama that's named after that family. Okay, so this is worth reporting. Okay, so this is very worth mentioning, is my phone is going absolutely crazy. I am filming with an iPhone today, an iPhone 12, because it captures such great quality video. And honestly, my GoPro batteries were all going kaput on me, and I didn't feel like fighting with it. And of course, the phone takes some great footage as well. But my screen is going blurry on my phone and shutting off. This is a brand new phone. Okay, back with you. It was only a second for you. It was about a minute for me, and my screen actually did it again. It has never done that before, and has only been doing that since I've been in this graveyard. Yeah, I think it's time for us to get out of here. So let's go to the next location. The building you see behind me is the old Masonic Hall, Lodge number 3, that was here in Clayburn when Clayburn was established as a town. This building was erected in 1824, and it was erected with funds from a public lottery. So they actually had a lottery and erected the funds to build this church here. The lower floor of the church served as a Baptist church and a courtroom, and William Bartram Travis, the famous colonel from the Alamo, actually practiced law in this building. On April the 6th, 1825, the famous Revolutionary War General Lafayette, visited this building here when he was here in Clayburn. He actually stayed here. Now, many stories throughout history have been associated with this building. It was the most important structure probably in the town of Clayburn because it was used as a church, it was used as a courtroom, and then Colonel William Bartram Travis used it, of course, to practice for his law firm. Now, many stories are associated with this building of the supernatural and paranormal. People hear disembodied voices inside of here. People have also heard their names being called, and yes, I know it's noisy because we are right by a main highway here. So, but people have heard their names being called inside this building. They have been touched. They have seen apparitions, and many have claimed to see General Lafayette himself and Colonel Travis. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. It's just the legends and the stories that are associated with this building. This building was moved here and reconstructed from its original location where it sits now. But this continues to be a vital reminder into the town of Clayburn, Alabama's history. Now, sitting right across from the Masonic Lodge behind me is Colonel William Travis's actual home when he lived here in Clayburn. Many know Travis as not a lawyer, but as one of the heroes of the Alamo. Now, the actual truth behind William Travis is that he was not a very nice person. He left his wife, left his kids, and went to the Alamo, and of course never returned. And when he left for Texas, he left from this home that you see right behind me now. This is the home of Colonel William Barsham Travis. This home was moved from 1.5 miles from this current location where it originally stood, and it looks almost exactly the same. Of course, in that time, it could have been just a plain Jane wooden cabin, not whitewashed. But if we look inside, I don't know if you can see inside the window here. Of course, we can't go in here, but yes, there is a portrait of Colonel William Travis right there inside. And if I must say myself, that's kind of a spooky sight seeing my face and that there. But you can see inside of here, there's a old wool wheel, the loom, I guess is what you'll call it, and a bench, pew, different things in there. And then, of course, there's a Masonic hall right across. And this is my favorite part of the entire structure, are these stone fireplaces. There are 2 of them, one for the front of the house, one for the back of the house. So I take it one was in the bedroom, one was in the living space. And let's take another view inside the home here. Now, many people claim to hear and see strange things coming from this home sometimes. People have claimed to have been touched. They have claimed to have heard disembodied voices. And they have claimed to see lights and strange things coming from this home throughout the course of history. Have I ever experienced anything here? No, I have not. But this is the back porch area of the Travis home. This is where he would have came out the back porch, here out the back doors from the bedroom and kitchen areas. And then this is the other side of the building. And just look at the construction here. Look how well this has been preserved. You even still have the hinges here for the shutters. And it's just, that always just baffles me, because these were actually blacksmithed. They were hand forged, which is just very cool that somebody made those. And here is the view outside of the Travis home. Of course, the main highway is right here, but look at this view. Isn't this just incredible? Okay, so it's very nice to be able to hit 2 spots with 1 stone. I must say myself, 2 very important historical locations with a lengthy history, and also home of 2 of the most famous hauntings in the state. So with that being said, let's head to the next location. Okay guys, we are here at another one of my favorite sites, Old Fort Clayburn. Now, of course, there's nothing here that you can see behind me but my truck. It's all woods now, just dense woods that have overgrown one of this place's most important historical structures, being Fort Clayburn. Fort Clayburn was established by General Ferdinand Clayburn around 1812. It was built in defense and to help protect the citizens of the area against the Creek Indians, or the Muskogee people, who at that time were waging a civil war against the United States. Now, Ferdinand Clayburn, when he established his fortification, it was along the banks of the Alabama River, which lie just about 300 to 400 yards behind this site of woods here. And it was built as a place of protection for the community, also to be able to stage the troops. And he had a large buildup of troops there from the Lord Tom Bigby militia, U.S. regulars, and also had the Choctaw Nation that were also aiding the United States, which would come back and bite them royally in the end with the Trail of Tears at the end of the Creek Indian War. But this site that you see behind me was the original site of old Fort Clayburn. There's not much here today, as you can see. It's just recently looks like it's been cleared throughout here. But all of these trees are going on the site of which was once Fort Clayburn. It was built on a bluff overlooking the Alabama River and had artillery emplacements, had trenches, and had a big community with different buildings like churches and schools, and I mean, just anything you can think of a town of having. It was the heart of Clayburn at the time, and it was General Ferdinand Clayburn who sent troops to Fort Mims after the Fort Mims massacre. They arrived about 2 weeks later to find the carnage and devastation that was left behind, and they left from this location. Also, this was the location where many of those troops left, headed to North Alabama and Central Alabama to fight off the Creek Indians who were waging war against the United States. And it was General Clayburn who actually helped win the Creek Indian War with his campaign that he led at Holy Ground. So this is a very neat place as far as history is concerned, and some of the paranormal happenings here generally take place all over the old town site of Clayburn. There are apparitions sighted, there are strange voices heard in the night, there are lights, there are orbs, there are anything you could think of as far as the paranormal happens here, because this is one of the biggest towns, as I said before, in the state of Alabama. Yellow fever took this town out with this epidemic in the 1800s. It was 2 votes away from becoming the state capital of Alabama at the time. It is where Colonel William Travis lived. It's where so many prominent citizens of the state of Alabama came from. Governors, senators, congressmen. They all resided here in the town of Clayburn. And this was the most important site in the town. With that being said, guys, we are going to continue our journey. So stay tuned as we continue to explore Monroe County, Alabama. Okay, guys, so we are probably in one of the oldest spots that we're going to check out today. And this is the old Clayburn, or Fort Clayburn Cemetery. This is the oldest graveyard. It dates back even older than the McConico graveyard we were in earlier. And this is probably one of the most haunted graveyards in the state of Alabama. There are so many people buried in this graveyard, and there's so many unmarked graves that it's just unreal. The earliest citizens of Fort Clayburn settled here, and this is where they were buried in the early 1800s, even before 1812. Okay, so we're gonna walk in the graveyard right now, and you can see there is a path that goes back down in here, and there's graves all along this path. Many of these graves have just been cleared of debris. This place was overgrown. Last time I was here, you couldn't even see the graves. So it has been cleaned since then, which is absolutely amazing. But even out here, there are graves everywhere that they have just not gotten to yet. This graveyard still has modern burials, but it is home of the oldest graves in this county and perhaps in the state, as I said before. You can see there's paths cut everywhere. These slabs have no markings whatsoever on them. These look like fairly new slabs. This grave right here is going to be a toddler and died in 1998. So yeah, it's a fairly new grave, 1972. But let's see if we can't find some of the older graves here. Let's see, this one is one of the older graves here in this graveyard. You can see it's been repaired. In memory of Elizabeth T. Manley, wife of S.M. Manley, born in Mississippi, December 15, 1820, died 1856, 36 years, 3 months. So this is one of the older graves. Also, somebody else is buried there, 1857, I believe. But there are graves all out here in these weeds, guys. They're just scattered everywhere. And I'm trying to get a glimpse of a headstone in here. There's one right through there. You probably can't see it on camera. But this is a very old graveyard. Now these are modern graves back here, more modern. But let's cut down this trail up here and see what we can find. Okay, we're gonna cut down this trail and see what we can find. Now, I want to note that my phone screen here on this iPhone 12 I'm shooting with today is blackening out again like it did in McConico. Very weird. This is a very creepy spot as we're walking through right now. But a lot of you guys ask what I film with here on the channel. What do I film these bigger episodes with? And the answer to that is I film with a lot of different cameras. I film with a GoPro 7, a GoPro 8, a GoPro, the GoPro 9 just coming out. I've already got it pre-ordered. I've got a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K, 6K. That's the bigger movie cameras that I film with. And I film with this iPhone 12 because I bake it in. It's a whole lengthy process that I do, and post editing that I bake in the footage. This is so creepy right now. All right, guys. Wow, I'm kind of getting the heebie-jeebies back here. I'm not going to lie to you. This is very uncomfortable, but we're going to continue on. Yeah, there's what looks like a grave back in there. I don't think you can see it on camera, but wow, this is just so uncomfortable right now. But this was all a graveyard. I mean, this is just so hard to believe that there are graves still here that are just unmarked. Nobody knows where they are exactly. Some are marked, but they're marked with more stones than anything else. And wow, just, it's hard to believe that this graveyard is actually this big and there's nothing here to testify for it. And I'm just talking right now because I'm not gonna lie to you, I've kind of got an uneasy feeling. And it just kind of dead ends right here. Yeah, so I don't know what that's all about, but yeah, I really want to get out of here. I have a very uneasy feeling. Now, the stories behind this graveyard, which I've almost forgotten to get to, just because how uneasy I'm feeling right now, is exactly what I'm experiencing. Uneasy feelings, people being tapped. They've seen several apparitions in this graveyard. One is of a man who lost his wife. Another's the story of what the heck was that? Okay, I just heard somebody say something. Disembodied voices, such as that. Horses. A man lost his wife in this graveyard. Has been seen in a top hat, like I said, I was trying to say a minute ago. I just want to get out of here. I just really want to get out of here. So, but yeah, this is one of the more haunted graveyards in the county, and I'm gonna have to go back and listen to the recording and see if I captured that sound on the microphone here. But ooh, there's my truck, thank goodness. But I don't know what that was, but I really want to get out of here, guys. See, there's graves in there as well. So yeah, let's yeah, I really want to get out of here right now. Very uneasy feeling, and I just want to kind of leave. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get out of here, head to the next spot. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, so there again, something else has happened. My phone has just did that weird thing again, where the screen has just went all blurry and it quit recording. So with that being said, guys, closing this back, let's get out of here and head to the next location. Okay, so it's only been like 3 seconds since you've seen me last. It's been more like 45 minutes for myself. I kind of got lost. I went down a road I really didn't know that well. Thought it was a shortcut, and it turned out to not be. I turned down the wrong road. So what I'm doing right now is I'm taking you to a place I'm very excited to take you to. It is a place that is near and dear to me. I've grown up camping there, fishing, you name it. I've been here several times, but it's one of the most haunted locations here. And it has a very interesting history behind it within multiple time frames. So I'm really excited to take you to it. And on top of it, this is where this episode gets interesting because it is now getting nightfall. It's going to be kind of dark, even though it may not look like it on camera right now. It is here. And yeah, it's supposed to get kind of spooky, and I'm by myself. I have no camera crew. So let's hope for the best, shall we? Okay, so we're taking another little small detour. We're on the road going to the place that I'm taking you guys to, but I passed by this area right here and notice that they've recently cut all the timber down, which is a fine opportunity to look for arrowheads because all the soils turned up, and there was Native American villages here at one time, and I know there's some out here, so I'm just going to take a quick gander and see if we can find some arrowheads on our way to our location. If I find anything, then I'll share it with you. Okay, so we're still out here. I've only been out here for about 5 minutes or so, but if you take a look around, you can see they've just cut for miles and miles and miles. And what interests me is this small hill right here. There were Indian villages here, like I said, and the thing is that as I'm looking on the ground here, I'm not seeing any flint at all, or the main thing I look for is chipped pieces of flint, and I'm just not seeing any here. Does that mean there's none here? No, it just means I haven't stumbled on it yet, but the fallen trees are still kind of thick. This will be a lot better once they start bulldozing this up and start burning the piles of down limbs here. But unfortunately, this is what happens in this part of the country, is the timber industry. So they cut trees down, plant them back, and they regrow. And this kind of just hurts my feelings a little bit because this place was all timber as long as I can remember growing up coming here. So, but we're not at the actual site yet. We're headed there now. So I'm going to get back in the truck and head that direction because I'm just not seeing anything here. And we'll maybe try this spot again in the future. This is what just got me really excited. You see these tracks here? That is deer tracks. And that's a pretty substantial looking deer. So there is a buck wandering somewhere out here. I wish I could have him for dinner, but unfortunately, I'm not hunting you. You can't hunt property that you don't own. So this is timberland. So unfortunately, we can't do that, but we're gonna head up the road just a little bit. We're gonna get back in the rig here and head that direction. Okay, so we made it to our next location, and it is now raining pretty substantially. The rain has set in, and the temperature has actually dropped 15 degrees since we first started. It was 70 degrees when we started today. It is now dropping like crazy, so it's starting to get a little cold, but we have made it to Nancy Mountain, or as maps call it, Haynes Island, but this is Nancy Mountain Trails behind me. And we're gonna take a little walk, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the history. Okay, so I've left the microphone, the wireless microphone, off because of the rain. And we are now walking down Nancy's Mountain Trail, and check out these hills. Just massive hills here. This place is very beautiful. This is a place I've grown up. in, and it's near and dear to my heart. But the thing is that this place also has a very long history. Native Americans settled here during the early parts of North America's history, and this was a location where they had many of their villages. Check out these rocks. This is most definitely like a mountain, to say the least, and it is dotted with history because during the 1800s, a woman by the name of Nancy, hence Nancy's Mountain, lived on this small mountain here. Her husband and son went off to fight in the American Civil War. Neither one of them returned. And it is said that she still walks this mountain with a pail of water, knowing that she can quench their thirst when she finally finds them. They never returned home, and Nancy is still said to walk this trail. And yeah, I have a tree in front of me, it appears. A very massive tree. Anyway, I think this is where we have to stop anyway. But it is said that Nancy continues to walk this trail with a pail of water to help quench their thirst whenever she finds her son and husband again, and when they return home from the Civil War. And I've had several people that have told me that they've actually seen an apparition of Nancy walking this trail. And this is the exact trail she is supposedly to walk late in the evening about now and at night. And there also have been strange orbs of light seen in these woods. And before it was home to Nancy, it was home to Native Americans. And there have been sightings of Native Americans here in this location. Now, before this land was home to Miss Nancy and her family, it was home to Native Americans. And it is said that Native Americans still walk this trail. They are still seeing apparitions of Native Americans along the bank of the river, which is about 120 yards away from here. And there have been even occurrences where people have camped out here at night and woken up in the middle of the night to see a campfire that they did not light, with several Native American men sitting beside it talking. Freaky to say the least? I think so. But this place is dotted with history. It's got a long line of history, and it's just very neat. It's one of these neat places that you find spread throughout the United States. It appears I have a big tree in front of the trail here, so I don't really see a way to get around it either. I mean, it's massively large. So I think this is the end of the trail for me. Man, check this tree out. Wow, that tree has been here a very long time. But this is a very beautiful place. And even with it raining right now, the canopy of trees above us is helping keep most of the rain off of us, so we can continue filming, which is pretty nice. But look how much of a drop this is down to the road where we are parked just there. Wow, that's incredible. I'll tell you what, guys, the thing that I like about places like this the most, I think, about coming here is the smell. The smell is incredible. It is so quiet. It is not hot. You don't have to worry about snakes too much right now. And it's just a great place and a great setting to kind of ease your mind from the stresses of the day. Which is another cool thing about these historical spots like this, is that, I mean, this is beautiful. And I mean, just the smell clean air that's unpolluted, and you can smell the pine, you can smell the leaves. I just love it. And that's the reason why I love hunting so much. It's not even a fact of going out killing the deer that I enjoy. I honestly do not kill much. I love just being able to sit out in the middle of the woods and read a book or just relax and listen to exactly this. Exactly my point. So it's just very calm, relaxing out here. And that's just one of the good things about being here. So we're going to leave this place now. We're going to head to another location and continue with our journey. As it is getting dark, you can't really tell it by the camera here, but it is getting kind of dark on us. And we're going to have to, sooner or later, call it a day because the rain is kind of keeping us at bay now from some things. And the temperature's starting to drop. But who knows? Let's see where this journey takes us on this episode, and let's continue on with this episode of Haunted History. Okay, we are standing outside of our last location on this episode of Haunted History. This is the Monroe County Library. This library served as the town hotel for the city of Monroeville and had notable guests such as Gregory Peck from To Kill a Mockingbird, as Monroeville was the town that the film was famous for. Also, Harper Lee was frequently a visitor here at the hotel, and now it serves as the Monroe County Public Library. So the reports that come from this place are very strange occurrences, such as knocks, sounds, guests feeling presence or being watched, and also being touched has also been felt inside of this library. This is a very cool place, and it is full of history. Lucas's Raiders during the American Civil War once used this as a campground too when they came through the city of Monroeville. So this place has a pretty cool history behind it. So that's going to do it for this episode of Haunted History. Make sure you check us out as we continue with other episodes in the future. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you on the next episode of Haunted History. Until then, keep preserving history. Stay safe.